Lech Lecha. Very interesting. That's why I brought my little suitcase. You never know when you're going to be asked to move. And that's exactly what happened to Abraham. But in the strangest way. Lech Lecha. What's going on? I know my kids, when we moved out of our house, at least we thought we knew where we were going. He's just told to go. And where is he told to go? Go. Either to yourself or for yourself. Very strange words. Go to yourself or for yourself. Go for yourself means Lech Lecha. Go in order to see how great you can be. We all have potential, but like a speaker who just practices and never gets up, or like someone who studies for a test but never gets to take it, we don't know how great we are until we are put to the test. That's why Abraham had to be put to the test. Not that Hashem didn't know how great he is, but that each of us can realize through our actions our potential. So we have to be tested in order to do it. You know, you could run and you could practice, but unless you get in that marathon, you're never going to know how successful. And then it says, Lech Lecha, for yourself. And go to yourself. What is to yourself? I mean, like, you know, you run and then you turn around and you say, oh, that's me I just ran into. What it really is saying is that we have to return to our essence. Look deep inside. See what there is inside. See what you have inside you. I love years ago when kids were always going to find themselves. Where did they go? To California, where the weather was nice, where there was sun. They never went to find themselves like in a cold, rainy place. So if you're going to find yourself, at least go to a good place. So those are the things about Abraham. It's only when you have an opportunity for challenge, it's an opportunity for growth. They say this man was in a car accident, and unfortunately he became paraplegic. But he said that after that he grew so much, he learned so much, he felt so much. He said, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And this is what happened to Abraham. That was his first test. So tests involve challenges. Then it goes on to say that he went, and it should have been hard for him to move. And it was hard, but in a sense it wasn't so hard. Why? Because if someone tells you to move, and you're moving because you want to go to this big house with too many rooms and too many this, and where there's a lot of pressure from the neighborhood and different kind of things, maybe you'll say, I can't take it, I'm too stressed. But on the other hand, a place which seems very hard, like say by Africa, or even Israel, where it seems hard, but you're going for a higher purpose, you have a reason to be going, you feel so strongly about going, it makes it easier. So even though this was a difficult move, the fact that he was going for higher purpose gave him the impetus and gave him the strength and the encouragement. Now, where is he told to go? Years ago, I went to Beis Yaakov, and we translated this into Yiddish. They put me in the Yiddish list. Lech Lecha me'artzecha, guy from thy homeland, from thy father's house. I don't remember much of it. But it seems that's in reverse. Most people, you say, go, I'll leave my house. Then I'll leave my city, then I'll leave my country. Here we have the opposite. He was told to go from his land, and then his birthplace, and then his father's home. What it's really saying is disconnect from those places. And yes, you could leave your country. That's hard enough, and you leave the value system behind. But then to have to leave the city, the things that were very close to you, the old pizza store, the friends, the values, that's even harder. But the next step, the home, where you really grew up, where you have your basic core values. And that's what Hashem was telling him. You have to leave those, because in order to start again, you have to completely be independent of those things. And then he gives him a very special bracha. Everyone will be blessed by you. And more than that, he says that, little show and tell here, he said, I'm going to bless you to be like everyone together? Stars.
And the sand.
And the stars. So I was going to bring sand, but I thought it might get a little messy. Sandpaper, right. Stars. So why stars? And why does he say, you can't count the stars, you won't be able to count the people. But come outside the stars. So literally it meant come outside and gaze at the stars. You can't appreciate them until you look up. And stars, the interesting thing is, how do they look to us? Very, very small. But we know that they're very, very great. That is how we have to view people. They may seem small to you. They may seem like there's not a lot there, but get to know them. Look closer, and you will see there's greatness, there's potential. And we can encourage others to reach that greatness. Also, he said, look at stars, and you are above the stars. In other words, you're above the common destiny. What happens to other people, we are not ruled by the mazalot, by the astrology, by the destiny. We can change our destiny. And how do we do it? Through the way we act, our mitzvahs and our davening. He changed his name from Avram to Avraham. Now he's going to be the father of many nations. And from Sarai to Sarah. She's not only princess to me, Avraham.
Could you start all over again?
Speaking about a princess, my mother just walked in. Greatest princess ever. Princess to many. Her name is actually Chaya Reza. Chaya means from the Chava. The Aim Kol Chai, the mother of all, and she truly is. And she has that greatness. And a rose, there is not one. A rose by any other name, as her mother said. And so we are above destiny. We're not guided by that. We can change our fate. And again, it says it's also compared to dust. So why we compare it to dust? Also, Hashem said, look down at the stars. I made everything for you, Abraham. Everything is there. It's there to serve you. It's there. The world was created for you, for our purpose, and you are there to serve Hashem. Each one of us, when we emulate Abraham's ways, when we do what's right in the Jewish way, we ourselves can say the world was created for us and everything is there to serve us. But we're also compared to dust. What is there about dust? Dust is everywhere. Yet despite what happens, despite what goes through the world, the dust will always be there. It may be small, it may look significant, you may trample on it, but it will continue to be there. So the dust and the stars show two things. We can rise to brightness, and then again, if we are not obeying Hashem's will, we will be trampled. In the next parsha, it talks about the stars and the sand. So it says about the stars again that we have greatness, but the sand, we can be like sand. How? Also innumerable. But the sand is a barrier. The oceans will come crashing in. The world would come crashing in. The cultures would come crashing in. But we are the sand. We are the barrier. We prevent the world from getting completely destroyed, wiped away, and we're there to prevent the world from going crazy, just like the sand prevents everything. So we have to realize that we are not only sand, we're stars. Each one of you is a superstar. My mother, each one. We can't count the stars, but we can pray. We can change our destiny, like Rabbi Akiva's daughter, who right before her wedding handed a poor man some money, a beggar, and because of that, her fate was changed. She was supposed to die, but instead, the night of her wedding, she takes her hairpin, puts it in the wall, and kills the snake that was supposed to kill her. So we can, with prayer, change our destiny. Now, another thing about this parsha, let me just go through it quickly, because it's a changing point. It's the game changer, as they say. Abraham goes down to Mitzrayim because there's a famine after he's promised all these things by Hashem, and then he goes on, and then there's the war. I'm not giving it to you in the order. There's a war necessarily, and then finally Abraham and Hashem. There's a bris. The bris is our covenant with Hashem, and this covenant is made on man in the part of his body that reproduces, because it's to teach us that this covenant goes on and on. As new generations come, we are all bound by this covenant. Hashem will give us the land. Hashem will be our people. Hashem will be our God. We will be His people as long as we realize that there is an ongoing covenant. So I just wrote a poem for you because you're such great people. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the sky so bright like the diamond in the night. Anyone familiar with that? I didn't write that part. I continued. Avram, like a star you are, which seems small when seen from afar. But we know they are really big and amazing, as people will tell you who are stargazing. People too can seem to be small, so please don't judge them at all. There is so much more potential in each one. Everyone is a whole world when all is said and done. That's why when man was created single and alone, until they made woman from a bone, to realize for me alone the world was created, so to see that each individual should be deeply appreciated. Besides, we are not ruled by stars or destiny. Our fate is to be determined only by you and me. We are not subject, we are above astrology. With prayer and good deeds, we can change our destiny. Negative predictions cannot come true if you are a believing, praying, meritorious Jew. Man, like a star, may seem like a speck, but do not judge, do not reject. In reality, there's greatness and godliness, and with sincere persuasion and encouragement and support, They will shine and rise to every occasion.
Yeah.